Welcome to 30 Days of Glamour Magic. My name is Lola V, and I will be guiding you through daily applications of glamour techniques to add to your current spell work or grimoire. This is a teaching platform, so if you come in and get comfortable, I would encourage you to grab a notebook, writing utensil, or anything that you want to use for notes. Any supplies if you would like to participate in the makeup portion of the mirror work. Otherwise, just a reflective surface when we do get to the point of the spell and the affirmations. Also, most importantly, bring your questions and your insight. I always say that the most important part about being a teacher is always remembering that you also are a student. So I would love if in any point in time you have any insight, any information, any knowledge that you would like to share about the topic at hand and anything that comes up as we are guided through the energy, to feel free to share that. Today, since it is 11:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in U.S. time zone, today is Thursday, and Thursday is ruled by Jupiter. If you can't already tell, I'm very giddy. I love Jupiter because I was born on a Thursday. I am a Sagittarius Sun and Venus, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius as well. So I just have a lot. It's just a lot of double down on that particular portion of abundance, luck, expansion. It's just ingrained into my incarnate in this life. Our intention for today is our affirmation. I set intentions that align with clarity. And so when we're talking about abundance, luck, and expansion, of course, manifestation comes back into play as well. So when we're talking about setting intentions, we've already been teaching and encouraging and reminding that you have to be clear, specific, and positive, present tense when it comes to that. And so Thursday is a perfect day to do any magic around, absolutely. And so Jupiter also is a representation, some associations, heart chakra, which is of the air element. Heart chakra also, and so then the colors for Thursday, heart chakra is green and pink. Then you have green, blue, purple, indigo that are associated with Jupiter and Thursday as well. You can throw in some golds and peachy type colors, absolutely. Sagittarius, obviously, and Pisces are associated with Thursday because that is what Jupiter rules, is Sagittarius and Pisces of the zodiac signs. And so when we talk about the heart chakra as well, I always like to make sure that I round it out by saying if you're a way to know if you may be misaligned with that particular energy center is maybe a lack of empathy, fear of intimacy, loneliness, a lot of stuff that may have to do with emotions. You can listen to 341.3 hertz frequency, which is what is playing right now in the background and will be during the duration of the live, just to help you get back into that. Of course, there's going to be different foods you can eat, colors you can wear, different gemstones and that you can have in your energy or wear as well, herbs that you can use, essential oils, sounds, the hertz frequency, as well as meditation. I forget what it's called. And so what I also wrote down in my notes, that with the heart chakra obviously being associated with love, and love being the highest vibration, it's not coincidental that heart chakra then goes back into Jupiter and Thursday, and when we're talking about abundance and expansion. I teach all the time about contentness and how that has to be the frame of mind to be able to get more. You can't be dissatisfied with what you have to get more. You actually have to be grateful to be able to get more. And so a lot of times that's what operating out of love is. And when love covers all. So that means that where there's lack or where there's any of those things. So you love being the highest vibration. The last point before we get into the full lesson was that operating out of love then makes all those things a lot easier. You're going to be moving more with gratitude. You're going to be more in harmony, so on and so forth. And that's what helps when it comes to the manifestation. So don't get it twisted. When it comes to manifesting, pulling things into this realm, aligning yourself with what is already yours, or creating things and bringing things into this timeline, for better words, that has to be contentness. Now, when it comes to shadow work and working on self specifically, that's when you have to be sick of yourself. That's when you have to be like, enough is enough. So it's all about the mind frame. So again, it is January 1st, intentions and manifestations. The theme for today is clarity creates form. And so it's not a coincidence that today, January 1st, falls on a Thursday. And when we're talking about intentions and manifestations, Thursday representing abundance and luck, it just really goes hand in hand. We really want to shift manifestation from a wishing type of thing. This is not a rub genie in the bottle. This is not a I hope. When you're talking about positive present tense, you are turning your goals and your desires into intentions by reframing the language that's used to communicate it to the universe as if you already have it. So it's not about a hope. It's about a is. It's about it's intentional direction. And I say this all the time. You could say, I want a car because you want one or need one. Or you could say, I want a 4-door, gray, 3rd-row seat, all-wheel drive. You get my gist? You need to be as specific as you possibly can. It makes no point to have that power and just do it haphazardly. The Spirit just said, remember, as I'm saying the word haphazardly, to go over our code of ethics as well as our rule of 3. So I got to pull that out to the side when we get to the spell portion of it. But shifting manifestation from wishing to intentional direction, that is what the whole goal of that is. Intentions will guide the energy, but not force, no problem, not force the outcome. Because that's the thing. If you try to, it's not going to work anyway. So that's the whole point of learning how to flow with energy and work with planetary energy. I used to focus more on the moon, new moon, full moon, when to utilize that. And I had to branch out because I realized that I was doing things by the day. And every day is governed by a different planet. So it was like a lot of times we are using Glamour Magick. A lot of times we are using different techniques. Don't even really know that we're using them. So it really shouldn't be as foreign. It should feel a little familiar. It should feel comfortable. Or even if it is an aha moment, it still kind of sets where it resonates, where it's something that should be done with ease. Once, you know what I'm saying, get the hang of it. So this is about intention versus desire. Desire is what you want, or the goal. That's what we call them, goals. And that's what we usually do at the beginning of the month, especially at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the new calendar year. We're always talking about resolutions. We're always talking about what's your new goals? What are you going to do different? What are you giving up? What are you changing? That's the desire, that's the goal. But the intention is how you choose to move. That's what I was saying. Turn it into positive present tense because intentions are actionable. The intentions is speaking it out in a way where you are matching, because it starts with thought, and then it goes with confession, right? And then universe will do their part, and you have some action that you have to do. Because if you say you want a job, remember, being specific, I want this kind of job, this kind of pay, this location, or I don't want to commute, whatever. You did all that, right? So then what you end up saying is, take that, and then say, I flourish in my place of employment. It's that simple. You first be very detailed, but then you flip the language as if you are already working that particular job. Because wishes are just passive. When you wishing and hoping for something, it doesn't sound, you're not doing anything. Because after you do that and set that and turn the goal into the intention and set it, and then you can use it as affirmations. You can remind yourself. You can write it down, put it in your purse or wallet and carry it with you. All of that. But the job is not going to fall out the sky. You know what you also have to do? You got to update your resume. And then you got to go on the search engines or talk to some people, use some word of mouth or some networking. You have to do something. But the steps that you did previous to is what helps you get into alignment, because then Spirit is opening up those doors and windows and opportunities where now that you determine what you wanted and you put it out there, now you can be guided to exactly how to go get it. But just that alone reframes the manifestation overall. So that's why clarity matters more than anything else. You really just have to be clear. That's why it's called intentional for a reason. We're not doing anything haphazardly. This is very purposeful. It gives the energy a direction, remember. And it's not always about feeling confident in that moment, because that's the whole reason why you're going from saying this to I have this. It's not a fake it till you make it, because there's no way I can't fake a job. Or you shouldn't. I'm not going to say you can't, but when we're talking about being unemployed to employed, there's no way to fake it. But what I'm saying is, in order for me to get to that timeline or get to that alignment, I can't keep just saying I want it keeps me over here, or whatever direction keeps me over here. I have it. It's a trans in between. You know what I'm saying? You travel from this to this state. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to be 100% confident. but you build it as you go. And I think that you become more confident when you actually see that it works. Then it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You have all the trust in yourself and your spirit team and cabinet of counsel for that process. Because I don't think I've ever tried to obtain, once I learned, I haven't tried to obtain anything in any other type of way. It just doesn't make sense to me to do it any other way, because when I have the knowledge, I didn't use it. When I had the knowledge, it makes more sense to use it, especially when it became tried and true. And this is the reason why we got to a point of being able to teach it. It's also really important to just be grounded. We never really do any spiritual work, and it doesn't matter if it's just the act of writing something down, or because spell work in its simplest form, as I always remind, is just the spoken word, the written word. You don't have to have anything, but if you want to add the elements, fire, candles, air, actual being outside, or even incense with smoke, water, and then earth, which could be represented through different stones or crystals, earth, actual earth, and different things like that. So you can add the elements, you can add some herbs, you can get some essential oils, you can, but you don't have to. There's a lot of things that boost it, and it is using the elemental forces that spirit has given us access to go ahead and manipulate the energy to our favor while we're in this material realm. But really, all you have to do is think it and speak it. So manifestation responds to consistency and not force. So it just has to be no doubting, and you have to stay consistent in the process. Same as if you were to, I don't want to say dumb it down, but simplify it. I went back to the job reference. It doesn't make any sense to say that I want a job, but then I never applied to one. So you have to actually be, I'm going to say first, seriousness. You have to be decisive, and then you have to be serious, because the universe is going to give you what you give it. And then what we revisit daily, it takes shape. We are the ones that are bringing things into material existence, into this realm, because of our power. So anything that we're doing repeatedly is a ritual, and it becomes a part of who we actually are, if it wasn't already in the first place. Good time for a little pause so I can try to get prepared for the makeup portion. And this is where we can get our mirror, because we do have to open up the portal to use it. My name is Lola B, and this is 30 Days of Glamour Magic, where I will be sharing tips and techniques where I focus on color, theories, and philosophy, makeup application, and mirror work as a portal for self-perception. And I'm doing that every single day at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. time zone. If you join because this is a teaching platform, I encourage you to go grab a notebook or writing utensil, anything that you like to take notes with, a reflective surface if you have one that you would like to participate in our actual ritual, and any supplies if you're into the makeup and want to follow along or just play around with the application. Most importantly, questions and insight. Most important thing about being a teacher is remembering that you also are a student. And so I want to go ahead and be able to pivot so we can get down to the nitty gritty. All right, so before I was grabbing makeup, I forgot. Before I grab the makeup, we do have to go ahead and get our portals. So if you are wondering, it is closed. We do put the black cloth or a solid color cloth over the reflective surfaces with the mirrors, specifically when it is not in use. All reflective surfaces are portals. And there are other portals as well, but as we're talking about reflective surfaces, the use to be able to actually see yourself, you should close them. You should know how to open them and know how to close them. Because whether you know it or not, it's a portal. So the mirrors in your house, the bathroom, wherever you put them, in other places when you went to buy them or whatever the case may be, phone screens, cameras, water as a reflective surface, these portals everywhere. But when it comes to the ones that you can physically close, I think it's really important to at least just have the knowledge to be able to do so, because portals are doorways. So not like a spooky, scary thing, but just an awareness of that. That's how we travel. I use a black cloth to cover mine, and this is literally the only mirror that I use when it comes to makeup application, when I'm like on a retwist or whatever. I do have a full-length mirror that I keep on the side and keep in my room, but this is the one that I use for the type of glamour that I do. So I remove the cloth, but I do use the cloth. This is the real purpose of this, is the makeup cloth, and I have two of them. I have a pink one, so I use the black one to cover my mirror. And I do get alcohol, and then again, you can look this up. about how to close portals, especially mirrors, this is a technique that I use. And a lot of the knowledge that I acquire, I usually try to look it up and go to my books of reference. Chakra book is up here or whatever, when I just want to make sure I'm remembering some information. But a lot of times it's through channeling. So it's divine knowledge, it's a remembering. It's not always something that I looked up. So I'm not saying that anything said use alcohol. My intuition told me to use alcohol. So it's like sometimes, even what I'm saying, hey, they say test the spirits. So you can go do your research. And doing research also means going within, sitting, praying, and meditating on the information that you receive to see if it can be beneficial for you. And your spirit team will continue to guide you. So I put a little bit of alcohol just in a corner of the cloth, and I take the surface, and to open the portal, I rub it in many circles, and I'm going clockwise, going forward in time. So I just, if I'm cleaning it, and it's really not dirty seeing that I do this every single time I use it, but just go ahead, and alcohol it will get air dry easy, but you don't have to use that much. I think I use a little bit much, but I just go ahead and do that. And now is a good time to go ahead and share our code of ethics. Here at the Moon Mood, we live by the moon and take light from the sun. This work that we do is for self-embodiment, confidence, and personal alignment. We work with clarity, consent, and care, meaning we do not influence, manipulate, or override anyone's free will or cause intentional harm. All energy is grounded and returned to balance. That is our code of ethics. Our rule of 3 when it comes to our spell work. Am I being specific? Will it harm me or anyone else? Am I willing to take responsibility? Let's quickly go over why all of those are important. Am I being specific? As we have already been talking about manifestation from the beginning to now, we've already talked about the importance of why you need to be specific. You can go ahead and put something out there. However, you're going to get just that. And I think that then when it comes to specific, when it comes to spell work specifically, that's the reason why it's important for it to be intentional. We're already doing a lot of things indirectly. So it just is a show of discipline and responsibility. Will it harm me or anyone else is number 2. You should never engage in anything unless you fully understand the risk. And so I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody else, but I'm not a black, dark magic type of person. That's the reason why we say that we do not influence, manipulate, or override anyone's ill or cause intentional harm. That is just not what. So the love spells, we're not doing that. Now, I can tell you at the end, if you stick around, any type of services that I do offer, or other teachings that would be helpful, but trying to inhibit somebody's will or cause harm is just not what we do here. There's many practitioners that fully lay out the type of services that they offer. So I do not think us here in our collective not participating in that, I don't think we're missing out on anything. And then, am I willing to take responsibility? We live in a realm of duality, cause and effect. So everything you do, for every action, there's a reaction. Just know. And that's the reason why it's important to be specific. It's important to understand the risk, because every single thing you do, there will be a reaction to it. So are you willing to take responsibility for the cause that what you're putting out there is going to cause? So now, once that is out the way, now we can go ahead and start the makeup. So I was thinking a green, blue, purple, indigo, and maybe even like pink, just for the heart chakra of it all. Have y'all ever seen the memes when it was so like girlies were like talking about how easy it is to just mess up my eyeliner? So it's like you put it on there, your arm shakes a little bit, and then it's like I gotta fix this. I'm laughing at my own stuff, trying to recall it. You keep trying to add more, and then they see you had a smoky eye. It turned from trying to do a cat eyeliner to a whole smoky eye because you kept trying to fix it. That used to just make me laugh so much. Like, what in the world? All right, so y'all know we starting with the brows first, because as you see, I ain't got none. So let's start with the brows first. It shouldn't take that long. That used to make me laugh so bad. Like, oh my gosh. Why is that so true? Because every time I get on here, I've been trying to do the liner, and it's never the same on either side. I be trying to do the wing and be all like the girlies, but honey, it's so difficult. So we can shift and talk about what are you choosing to move forward, and it also can be, it's on the notion of asking your resolution or goals for the new year. If you don't mind sharing, it's a safe space here. What are you choosing to move toward, and what I'm trying to create, how much of a difference that makes. Being peace of mind and bringing more happiness into your life. I love it. I support it. Me personally, I'm choosing to move toward more productivity. I am a procrastinator. And I honestly do not know why, because I don't even get as much rest as you would think I do for as much stuff that I do not get done because I put it off to the last freaking minute. So I'm trying to be very intentional with the way that I use my time, because I feel like since it's so relative, I literally need to be bending it more. I need to be like manipulating time more by being more in control, and like, because y'all tell me, have you ever felt like some days really like move super fast? You be like, oh my goodness, it's 12 o'clock. Oh my goodness, it's 5 p.m. And the other days it's dragging. You looking at the time like, dang, I could have swore I only looked at it like, thought it was like hour past, only 30 minutes past or something like that. So I think that subconsciously we're already bending it and analyzing it in that type of way. Let's use time to our benefit, since seeing that past, present, and future is really no differentiation. It's the way that we experience them. They're all happening at the same time. So that we should be able to use time way different than the way that we do. We definitely have the power to do so, and that's what this is all about. It's just tapping into that power. Because not first the knowledge, the self-awareness, that's the power in itself. But you have to become aware of that. This has a thing at the, oh, I'm not using this one. I think that for some reason, and this is part of the glamour, this is part of the magic. We haven't got into creating the whole illusion yet, because I do all different types of makeup. When it comes to glamour type makeup, or just enhancing certain features, but not distorting them, that's something that I try to practice more often. I get all up into FX makeup, face painting, different types of applications. So when we're talking about creating illusions, we didn't get there yet, but you can do that in certain areas. You guys know, you want to make your lips plumper, you do the outer outline instead of inner outline. If you want to make your nose smaller, you're going to be doing a contour. So we know how to accentuate or to create the illusions with the features that we want to place our face. You know what I'm saying? Different things like that. But that's still not the same as completely turning into something else. But to create the illusion, because I don't have, my eyebrow hair is very thin. So if I'm going to be putting a whole bunch of eyeshadow on, my preference for the way that I want my face to be framed is to have them darker. And see, this is the regular pencil that I normally use. And I can normally get this one a little bit darker. You see that coming in a little bit darker. Yeah, that waxy, just something to give us something to start with, because I have to know how I'm placing my shadow after I do my brows. So I've done all type of things. Sometimes I don't want to have to wear a whole bunch of product that's just going to be like that I'm going to end up sweating off. I have used a trick where you get the Rogaine that's supposed to cover the grays, because I feel like my hairs are really stubborn. They're really light, and I go ahead and I use that, the one they use for the mustache and beard, because it's formulated for the face. And I go ahead and you put me some Vaseline around. I may even draw a line with my pencil to know exactly where to keep the dye within, and put some Vaseline around where I don't want it to be residual dye on any skin. And I go ahead and, as if I'm doing a tinting, I'm using that mustache dye to tint my brows. And I've done that, and it lasts me about a good little week of not having to, especially when I'm doing some lashes. Yep, to make it dark, because my lashes are so, brows are so thin and not dark, sparse in there, the hair is not dark, that just doing that, it just wakes my face up a little bit. And then I don't have to fill them in every single time I want to put some makeup on, because I do not fill my brows in every day. I only do brows when I am doing makeup application. So now we're just shaping it out. Even as I am doing the makeup, even as I am now doing stuff around my eye, it's like I could be saying to myself out loud in the mirror, I see clearly. And a lot of times I also add the fact that I be realistic again and specific with myself, that when I am doing certain makeup on my eye, I'm saying that my intention is I want people to make eye contact with me. what's the best way to get them to be drawn to my eye is put attention to it. So that's why sometimes I do the dramatic makeup as well, dramatic eyeshadow as well. So you said never knew what. So it's, of course, the ones that I use the most. I can see clearly. I command and demand attention and respect with eye contact. I can say all type of things as you're applying that then is that you are setting in stone as you are putting the makeup on your skin. You understand that the skin is one of the largest organs and is very absorbent. So what you are speaking, you know what I'm saying, aligning with what you are doing, then your skin is able to send those signals through the nervous system and the receptors to the rest in other parts of the body. And secondly, everything is what you make it. So when it comes down to it, there's sometimes a lot of concepts that we are participating in, even when we don't believe it, that apply to us, even when we're not practicing it. And a lot of times we're doing stuff indirectly and unintentional, and that's the reason why stuff like this is helping to remember that you can command and demand the power instead of just doing things haphazardly. Because trust, what you just said was an affirmation. Because if you say that to yourself, that's probably the reason why your manifestations don't work. Everything you speak is a spell. So you have to be careful even what you say to yourself when nobody's around. It's still going to be your inner voice even when it's not said out loud. And you will be wondering the whole time why you're stagnant because you didn't even give it a chance. Maybe you did. Maybe the opinion could be based off of experience. I'm not even going to knock that. But I know that that's not my experience. I know that I enjoy speaking those things that are not as though they were and using my power to change my reality instead of having a victim mentality. I'm just going to take whatever life gives me. That's just not the type of being that I am. Girl, I used to be too. YouTube University still is, but was definitely my best friend when it came to trying to figure out what makeup techniques I wanted to master. And once I released myself with knowing I'm not trying to be a makeup artist, I'm an artist that does makeup. And my face is my canvas. So my intention wasn't to learn, even though I can do makeup on other people's face, it was to learn my face. Because I can do my makeup in 5 minutes. I can do it in 10. I can sit here for an hour. It's levels to it, but I had to learn the techniques, my face, the products, you know what I'm saying, to develop the skill. But I was definitely nervous. And it was still stages. I wouldn't do the eyeshadow just yet. Or it took me a while to wear lip color because I thought my lips was too big. I didn't want to bring attention to them. That's why we're talking about confidence. That's why we're talking about self-perception. Because when you look in these reflective surfaces, you need to be okay with what you see. I wouldn't be able to accentuate my eyebrows. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't like them. I'm not a wear makeup every day, can't go out the house, nobody saying sleeping, my man can't see my face bare. I'm not that type of person. I really have to, and you saw me, I'm concealing all of my little acne scars first, and I'm about to do my eyeshadow. I let that sit. Because when I do a full face, I don't want all them, sometimes I don't want all them scars coming through. But it doesn't mean that I'm ashamed of it. If I really want to do something about it, I need to change my diet and I need to change my cleansing routine. But in the meantime, I know what I can do in a temporary basis to create the illusions that I would like to create. So that's why I think it's important to just be in control of all of that. Because I've never been the type of person that was ashamed of my face. I was scared to accentuate the things that people already were paying attention to. I have big, prominent features, big eyes, big nose, big lips. So I had to get over the fear, and I had to approach it of just like artistic way. That was what worked for me, and I had to have fun with it. Otherwise, I probably would not. If I felt like I had to do it, I think it would be more of a chore. Oh, excuse me. Buff it out a little bit before I use the sponge. Anybody else want to share that's here? A question was, what are you choosing to move toward? So for anybody that is just joining, that doesn't know what you just walked into, my name is Lola B, and welcome to 30 Days of Glamour Magic, where I am taking the next 30 days, which we are on day 4. So well into January, of showing you different techniques and different ways of glamour to add to your current grimoire or spell work. It's a teaching platform, so you should have a notebook, something that you like to take notes with, a writing utensil, your reflective surface, because we do mirror work, any of the elementals that you want to add, water, fire, earth, air, as well as any supplies if you want to participate in the makeup application, playing around as I am tonight with some colors that represent our day of the week and the color associations. Most importantly, bring your questions as well as your insight because I know what I know, but the best part about being a teacher is understanding that of when to be a student. So I would love to hear your insight if there's anything that you know about the topic or anything that comes up as we are conversing. Today is when we started, we were tapping into the energy of Thursday, an hour ago. And we tapped into the energy of Thursday, which is about abundance, luck, expansion. And we're trying to exhibit a calm confidence because our affirmation for today is I set intentions that align with clarity. Jupiter rules Thursday, and we have associations of colors of green, blue, purple, indigo. And then we talk about the heart chakra. We can add in pinks as well. The heart chakra is associated with air and touch. If you feel misaligned with lack of empathy, fear of intimacy, loneliness, anything that has to do with the emotions, you can listen to, as we are playing in the background, 341.3 hertz frequency to be able to be back aligned with that energy center, as well as other ways with the colors, with the foods, essential oils, herbs, so on and so forth. But I'm trying to add the extra element in there that I'm telling you the sound that we are actually playing. It's also associated with the zodiac signs of Sagittarius, which I am, and Pisces. And what did we say? We said a pink, soft look. It's going to be a bold lip, though. So let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Like a champagne situation. I'm trying to figure out what I want to be the transition. I do have a very, very light. I do have the very... Because I don't think I'm going to be doing no real crease work or nothing. I'm just going to be layering all these on top to add the makeup. I don't even know how to describe it. We're just going to go with the flow. The colors from the palette that I'm using, I realized that I would probably need to break them up to be a little looser because when they are compact, I'm not getting the color payout that I would like to get. That's okay because I'm applying it with a fluffy brush that I can pat and blend out at the same time. So either way, it'll work. And so when it comes to layering these colors, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just about to just go with the flow. Ask me, just help me. I normally do shimmer last if I feel like I'm trying to layer stuff. And I honestly don't. Let's do an opposite. I'm feeling that. So let's do something that I don't normally do. Normally I put the lighter colors in the inner and put the darker colors toward the crease. But we're gonna do something different. So I think now for I need to use flat brush, this one too, because I'm gonna still blend it with something different. I'm gonna use this flat brush to apply more of the color to pack it in, because this brush is not fluffy. So I just wanted to see how that looked, because I can, with that first little dot that I did, I could have easily blended it out to where I almost removed it all the way, just in case I didn't like it. Now that I see that it's gonna be okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But I'm still gonna blend it out, so it's not gonna be as harsh. But I have to put a lot on to be able to, because the product as I'm blending is gonna soften. That's why it looks very stark at first, but it won't be that way once we gonna do. Like I said, I always use the same placement, and then that I've been forgetting that you can do the halo effect with the darker color on the outside and the lighter color on the inside. Normally I start in the brow bone with the lighter color, then I do a transition, and then I would do inner corner and then deepen my crease in outer corner. Oh no, I would deepen my outer corner and drag it to the crease. So I don't know, that's just my go-to, how when I accent my eyes. So sometimes you just want to switch it up and see. This is how you can play around with it. You got your colors, you know what I'm saying? Just think about what direction you want it to go in. So now I can go back into that light pink again, just to make sure that I didn't take too much away from it when I was in the dark. Because that's going to help when I put that shimmer on top to be able to make it pop a little bit more. And I think that's really, I don't need to do more than that. I think that's really it. And then the other thing that you can do too to the powders is you can wet them. And when you wet certain shadows, the powders, it will give you a different payout too with the color. You know what I'm saying? So you can also do that. And a flat brush is always best, again, to apply the color, to use that patting motion like that. Versus when you are blending, you're using the fluffier brushes. This one is a combination of these two, if it makes sense. This has a flatness to it that helps me to pack, but then I can blend. This is just fluffy all around just for blending. So just go back and forth. And I'm not going to say the brushes don't matter. I'm going to say the products don't. because you can play around with the different techniques with different products. But the brushes I learned, even just like using the right I have the same flat brush just like this. It might be even flatter to when I'm shaping the brow with the concealer. And at first when I was doing it, I was using one that was not wide enough. The bristles weren't, you saying, and so it changed the way, because it made it to where I wasn't, if the brush is not wide enough, it wasn't enough product for me to actually be able to create a good crisp line. And I didn't realize it, and it just really changed the way that I started my face when I started using different brushes. And so as I'm continuing to do my eyes, again, I see clearly. I command and demand respect with eye contact. I'll be able, it's kind of easier to show benefit of the brushes in person, because because the brushes actually have names and numbers, but again, not trying to solicit. So that's a different type of teaching I would, or like breakdown that I would have to help to come to do. I'm looking for my spray. So, oh, there it goes. Because it's harder to explain when I'm just only showing it to you on my camera. So I put a little bit on dry first. Then I put a little setting spray on my brush and went back to try to add a little stripe of something in the middle for the pop. And this is the shimmer. So it's a different consistency when I wet the brush, and it will give me more product, but I still take the brush to any excess and do a little mini blend in the middle. As you see, since we were the goal was to not do something too dramatic, I did not put a whole bunch of dark. What I have to do though, I'm still lacking a little bit of depth. Still wanted it to go from dark to light to the middle. So now continue to just blend it all out. This is probably the softest eye I've done in a while. Way more bold than this. I tell you. I think that's it. This is not my style. And it's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just used to just going hard, go bold, or go home. That's always me. Sometimes I'm doing it, I might as well do it. But I can sit here and keep layering. I'm just gonna slap it and fix it, because I'm not even about to get myself all worried about getting it perfect, knowing that it's not about to be that way, because I'm right-handed. I do the right eye first, the right eye comes out perfect, and I wanted this to be really bold, and then the left eye be looking crazy. So we're just gonna put it on there and fix it afterward. Once it's dry, you can use the concealer to lines a little bit better. So if you mess up and get the shadow too much, liner too much in the shadow, then you could take whatever lash brush that you use, and it may still have product on it if you didn't rub it off, and just go ahead and fix that part, because sometimes the line is not straight, or sometimes you just, once it's dry, because it's liquid liner, but it dries down matte. So therefore, then when it's dry, kind of how gluey is. Once it's dry, it's like now I can fix the mistake or whatever. I'm not stuck with it looking crazy because of the fact that I didn't have a steady hand, because I don't always have a steady hand. But I'm trying to make sure that the thickness of the beginning is the same, and then we can put some lashes on, because I think we're doing a good time. I've only been live for an hour. And usually by this time, I probably wouldn't even be this far. So we can put the lash glue on while we do the under eye, because, we'll do the under eye first. We'll put the lash glue on when we do the rest of the face, so that it'll be easier to just plop, because the glue will be set already. We can do a quick under eye, since we said glam, into a very light one. Usually it's not this light. Y'all still with me and share. I feel like we might be good in like another 30 minutes, depending on my rhythm. I'm kind of moving to the cheeks. I'm going to say I welcome ease. Sometimes that tension be right here, right here in the sinus area. So I just want to say I welcome ease as I'm putting this right here, highlighting my under eye area and onto my cheek and dragging it back up here. I welcome ease, no tension. Is it easier using strip lashes versus individual? It was to me. That's where I started. I learned with strips. And strips is still my go-to. I'm still learning individuals and clusters. I prefer clusters, because clusters would be like very similar to just taking a strip and cutting it into like quarters, or especially if you like the effect of like the outer lash being more extended. You can get a lot of strips for $1.99, $2, $3, $5, saying where you can just cut them up and that's cheaper than getting a pack of clusters or whatever the case may be. So I prefer strips, but I've done different applications. I've done magnetic. I'll tell you, because it's really easy. It's the clusters, but the glue's already on it, so you just make sure you have your lash applicator tweezers, because you know these are your for your lashes, different type of tweezers. You have those. You can go ahead and place them, press them down, and they have this sealant. You also have like lash. So it's the difference in having the glue that you dip the clusters or dip the individuals in and place them on, versus it's a glue that you can actually put on your lashes, so that when you're pressing it and down, they can mesh more. Now, the only reason why I don't like that one is because the applicator is exactly like mascara, so I feel like it gets gunked up in it. And when I'm putting it on, because it's supposed to, everything, all the glues are supposed to dry clear unless you get colored glue, because they have black glue. But like, I feel like you can still see it when you go to press it down. And it's not that's not a seamless look. If you can see glue under right here, that's not what I'm going for. So, but the pressing seal is supposed to, you don't do that. It's like a clear sealant that you put on afterward, just to make your clusters or your individuals last a little bit longer. And like, I love a little kit, because again, you can get them from the beauty supply store, from the drug store, corner stores. Like, when it's kits like that, they know the demographic of the area. They'll put those for little things in a store that you wouldn't think. You know what I'm saying? Dollar stores, stuff like that. And then when you get a couple more coins and learn some more, then you can up it too. So you could go, I can count on the times in my hand I went into an Ulta or Sephora, but for the sake of the example, then you can go a little more expensive. Then you can go to the makeup store or go online, you know what I'm saying, and peruse and see what you can add to your collection. For practice though, you ain't gotta spend a whole bunch of money. Or go to somebody in your life that has some extra makeup that they like to donate. A lot of my lip colors came from my auntie, who was a makeup artist when she used to work at MAC. So I have MAC lippies that she gave me that she just wasn't using or just didn't want anymore. And so that really helped up my collection. And I felt like I was really able to practice. My favorite glue is anorexic too, just like my favorite concealers. But somebody came and told me that I can go ahead and, like you do toothpaste when the toothpaste run out, and then use the applicator. So I think last time, if I can find the brush that I used when I went it, so that I can get the most out of my glue. This is my favorite glue. It came with a kit, and I just like it. It dries clear. It's very strong. If I place my lash right, I ain't got to worry about that mug moving or nothing. If I actually make sure it's touching the part of the eye that it's supposed to touch. So I got to find where this glue is to replace it. Is this the one I use? Or was it a different one? Are we making good time? How are we feeling? We do have to close the portal. It's been a long day, so the rest of it is really simple, because I always say I don't really do a lot of contouring on my face. So I use the concealer because I find the right color combinations that I like. Sometimes it's hard to find the foundation in the color of your skin tone. If you're into mixing and stuff, you definitely can. I have foundations. So far, you can even see they look pretty saturated in the bottle. They don't even look like they match. But sometimes I have to mix them. I have all type of contouring colors and bronzers. That's a drugstore brand. They have so many different type of colors. So it just makes it easier for me to do just the whole face with those. I do know when it comes to makeup, like, different products are formulated different, but I like the coverage. I like the build upon coverage that you can get when you are working with concealers, because they're not meant to always, there's, again, like I said, different formulas. So there is some concealer that is full coverage, but when you have the ones that you just build upon, I like those because they're easier to mix and blend. What if you got a tan or something? You might not, skin might be a little darker or lighter depending on the day. Right, onto some translucent. Said what I just did, because I did under eye, we'll use the brush. Sometimes I pat it on with the blending sponges, and I do have a tinted, like, translucent. So it's not gonna add too much color, but for those of us that are melanated, sometimes it is hard to find the translucent powder that's not gonna leave that gray or white cast, especially when you go to take your flash pictures. So I would suggest getting a translucent powder that have the tint to it, because they actually do have multiple shades. It's not like your face powder. It's not your pressed powder deeper color. It's a loose, invisible powder. We're making it so, because even when you use baby powder, just talking about powders, not saying I'm saying powder on your face, but when you use that, you know that it has like little residue. It has, like, you can see that it's white. So that's how powders are. They give a little and take a little. So with some tint, it kind of helps so it doesn't take away from makeup. Clear some space so that I can go ahead and finish up and grab these lashes. All right, time to choose 1 to 5. I've been in love with Minkies lately. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I'll tell you, the only ones that I actually haven't worn yet are 3. I've actually worn 1. I did 2 day before yesterday, and then just in other, I think one of the days I had did 4, and just when I wasn't on live, just going somewhere, I did 5. So I pretty much wore all of them except, no wait, maybe I've worn all of them because they all look a little used. Because I wash my lashes in the strip part and just use them over and over. 3. So 1, 2, 3. This one. Because believe it or not, they're not all the same. There's slight differences. This is the most one that you can tell is different, and these ones are just a little. It's very subtle. Some of the lashes be like the inner corner be a little shorter than the inner and outer be shorter, or it'd be like a shorter here and then more. So I have to make sure I'm putting them on the right side so that I'm not. But this one looks like it is shorter on both the inner and outer, so it doesn't matter which eye I put it on. If it was, you know what I'm trying to say, if it was shorter here and not this one, then I would want it to be on this eye and not that eye, so I can make sure that the shorter part is on the inner corner. First I press into the glue and then use the tweezers to press down to your lashes. And to me, that's the benefit of putting the lash glue on your eye and not on the strip. Because I've done it multiple ways before, but putting it on the eyelash, putting it on the lash line, if you don't have, because my eyes are sensitive, so I can't even say once, if you don't have, or once you get used to it. Sometimes my eyes still water in doing all of this. Hey, we almost done now. I don't do this. When I'm going somewhere, I put my makeup on in peace. Because I be so indecisive sometimes about what type of makeup I really don't go outside much. So I literally just be doing this makeup for myself. I just like to look cute. I just like to look pretty. I be trying to be focused. 10 more minutes. Because we got to do the lippy. So it's almost like I just want to bring them 2 shades of pink that I use into my blush, so it really just is unifying it. There we go. So hit the Lona Live for the last 10 minutes for me. See what we can do. Because we're about to be done. And we're going to close the portal. I'm intentional in accenting the beauty marks that are there. Probably can't see. I covered them up with all the color, and then I just add them back. As you see, I did not change the face shape of my nose, and I didn't. Sometimes I do a little bit of contour with the powders afterward, but I don't feel like doing all of that. Thank y'all for being here. My name is Lola B, and I am a practitioner and a psychic intuitive channeler. Collaborative is called the Moon Mood, and here at the Moon Mood, we live by the moon and take light from the sun. Into Glamour Magick, where I'm sharing techniques for 30 days. I don't know if y'all can see how shimmery this lip is, even though it's so dark. Here we go. Inner part of that lip. So I usually add like a pink gloss or like pink color to help it to not look like that part is just dry while the rest of the lip is colorful, because sometimes it's hard to have that color right there. Well, for me personally, it's hard to have that color right there, because that's the part of the lip that will be, it's more inner than outer, and so it's hard for, when I'm putting color, that part still be like, the color doesn't take right there. So I'll add a pink or like gloss. I have to add a different texture, because obviously a lipstick is not the same consistency as a gloss. Then you have like that, it's all different. So you pick you want it to be. And with the lips, I'm just saying I speak with intention, and like I said, I command respect. So maybe it wasn't as soft because I don't know how to do that. I'm learning. But first and foremost, let's close our portal. So I'm going to take my black off, got my alcohol in the corner again, and then now to close the portal, we're going to rub in the circles counterclockwise. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to say the last incantation. And I always say it twice. So if you want to record it, try to write it down. even if you just get line by line. We're doing this every day, so you can always come back and get the rest in case you don't get all of it. I am in full control of how I present myself. With specific and precise intention, every application amplifies my inner being. I attract only what I allow, and I repel all that serves me none. And this glamour is sealed with clarity and care. So mote it be. After I'm done doing that, then I'll take the cloth and I will lay it over. And then because I only use it for this specific purpose, then I can put this down under my desk, my vanity. I could put it in a closet, on a shelf, or whatever, because I'm only using it for this, and then I open and close it. So like I was talking about at the beginning, you can do however you want to do with your reflective surfaces. And Saturday we'll be talking about protection. So yes, are there risks in leaving the portals open? We're going to learn about how to protect yourself when you're using the portals as well. Because so below, it's in duality. There's light beings, there are dark beings, and you do have to be careful what you allow to come into the spaces when the portals are there. Anyway, thank y'all so much. Again, Happy New Year. Like I said, you're never missing anything because I reiterate as a part of the magic and repetition for learning purposes. So any point in time you would like to join in the 30 days, it'll be another Monday, another Tuesday, another Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday come around. So you never feel like you have to miss anything. Tuesday, no matter if it comes this Tuesday or next Tuesday, Tuesday still stands for the same thing. Tuesday still represents and associated with the same thing. We'll just have a different focus and theme for every Tuesday. Who knows, next 30 days it might be something a little bit different. I do offer a lot of other services for manifestation, for planetary alignment and energy, and for self-work as well. So stick around if you would like to. Join me at any time. Share lives with those that you feel like would be interested. Help us to continue to build a nice little community where we are being very intentional and we are being present. Again, Happy New Year. I wish everybody much success in all the endeavors, whether they're starting it now, whether they're going to do it in March, whether they're going to do it on their birthday. I encourage everybody to let nobody make you feel that you can't make a new year, because again, time is relative at whatever point in time that you want to, because it's all about the magic. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Sending a lot of high vibrations over to you, and I will see you tomorrow night. Same time, same place.